America is facing severe threats at home and abroad. That's the message from one retiring Republican senator. 72-year-old Dan Coats of Indiana says he only came back to the Senate to serve his country for one term because he saw dangers escalating in America. He recently spoke with our Heather Sells about what's at stake.
In the United States.
After an 11-year absence, Dan Coats returned to the Senate in 2011, motivated, he says, by two major threats. The first he calls the debt bomb.
Just from a practical standpoint, you can't just keep borrowing money. It's going to go off someday, and it's going to have a devastating impact on our country's economy and on our kids' future.
That's topped only by what Coats describes as the terror bomb. The worst nightmare, he says, terrorists with weapons of mass destruction. That could translate into the greatest loss of life ever on U.S. soil.
We'd be talking about numbers in the 3 million range, not the 3,000 range.
A major disappointment for Coats this year, the so-called U.S. Freedom Act. Lawmakers recently approved it to replace the Patriot Act.
Because it was so misrepresented, quote, they're listening to all your calls, government's in your bedroom, it's in your house, it's on your phone, which is not the case. Politically, the decision was made to compromise that down, and I think that makes us more vulnerable.
Another threat has surfaced since Coats returned to office, the hostility facing Christians who are open about their faith. The Wheaton College graduate says faith in God is the foundation of his life. Coats was stunned this spring by the attack on religious freedom in his home state of Indiana.
It was almost like an assault on people who were attempting and trying to do the right thing, and that is recognize the constitutional rights of freedom of religion and not to have those abused or taken away or discounted. So I was in shock over the fact that the assault was so direct and so strong and so intolerant, frankly.
Indiana lawmakers are expected to take up the issue again next year, and Coats hopes that they respect religious beliefs and behave in what he calls a responsible way. In the meantime, he will spend his last 18 months as senator fighting for freedom at the national level at a time when he says the threat level has never been higher. Heather Sells, CBN News.